Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
It's the final countdown!
What is up, fellow Face-Off fans? It's here. It's the finale. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for the past 14 weeks. It's gone by really fast.
I know.
By the way, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, AFTERBUZZ TV. And we're also on iTunes, SoundCloud. Check out all our shows. So we'll be back in January. But in the meantime, we got a bunch of cool stuff for you to check out. You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan, as I am Alana Jordan. And today I'm joined with my phenomenal panel.
I'm a mouse. Duh. I'm Emma Fyffe. You can follow me all over the internet at Emma Fyffe, which is my name.
And my name is Lauren Salaun, and that happens to be where you can find me everywhere. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, as well.
And I'm Alexis Torres. And you can find me. Apparently, we're rapping. Aren't that?
All right.
But you can find me all over social media as atorres890.
And for those of you who are just listening, we are all decked out in our Halloween garb
Yes.
because not only is this the finale episode, it's also, for all intents and purposes, our Halloween episode as well. So we're all decked out in all of our various movie attire as well from some of our favorite movies because for the finale, first time ever, they created short films based off of all of the looks.
That is true. I didn't even think of that. I was like, let's wear Halloween costumes because I have to go to a Halloween party after this. But it makes sense.
We constantly talk about as long as you have a good story, then it helps the look. We're just going with our own advice.
Yep.
I mean, this is how I feel on the inside. It's fabulous.
So we got to see, this was less of a twist finale because they kind of revealed the twist prior.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the last episode when we found out that they were going to be incorporating a third character into their looks as well. How do you think everybody did as far as incorporating this last minute?
I think they were ballers. Like, it didn't even faze them. They were like, okay, we have a third character and we have an extra helper this time.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And they went to work and they were just going.
Yeah,
And I thought that was really cool.
And especially Evan, which the judges pointed out, he revamped everything, created 2 new characters, and pulled it off really well.
Well, I think that the addition of the third character was incredibly helpful to Evan because Evan was already struggling with, okay, so he had his early stages diseased character who the judges felt didn't look diseased enough. And then he had his medium stages character who looked like a crazy Freddy Krueger and just wasn't really working well. So I think with the addition of the third character where Evan decided to go with the advanced stage of the disease, like your advanced G virus, you've morphed into the crazy William Birkin that's trying to hunt people down, Resident Evil reference.
Nice.
That helped him really hone in on where he needed to go with the second character. So ultimately it created a much more cohesive look for Evan.
It definitely helped him to be able to kind of have that reset, that take 2. I love that he incorporated the bright colors too, because you mentioned Resident Evil. They had that neon green and bright blues.
Totally.
And so that having that green color, I think, made it just a lot more interesting.
Absolutely.
Than his first kind of stab at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
How insane is it to you have the addition of a third character and then oh wait, I'm actually doing everything over and starting from scratch.
Yeah.
But I feel like it helped with having a fourth person on the team.
Right, definitely.
Had more time.
And they weren't necessarily starting from scratch per se completely because they were able to kind of like plan their time and how they would do everything and execute a little more
and it's like
efficiently.
Though they did do another run of the prosthetics, they still had the molds for them already done.
Right.
So
But ultimately, I mean, I think Ben, it ended up being kind of a step back for him.
I actually totally agree with you on that. Yeah.
Because Ben's first go around, I think, it had some flaws with not being completely finished and having the back area exposed. But I think his first kind of look overall was a lot more cohesive. Adding in that beauty character, I think. Just,
I agree. I think that the two characters who Ben had already previously made, he really refined them and stepped them up, and they looked like very, very finished, beautiful characters on screen.
The resurrected.
I was going to say, and V, I think it was V said that the resurrected character was the best makeup we saw in the whole episode, which I agree with.
Yeah.
There was so much detail on it, especially all the little wrinkling around the mouth, but it was justified. It didn't just look like, I put a bunch of lines on his face.
Yeah.
However, that girl character he did, it kills me because we see this all the time on Face Off, where they are trying to make a beautiful, feminine character, and they're putting all kinds of prosthetics on her face.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, leave her face alone.
Yeah. You got a girl to begin with. Just put some cool makeup on her.
And not only that, he had Jason, who is an expert at beauty makeup on his team.
The thing is, Jason had to do it in last looks.
I know.
So having it kind of put off until the last minute, if they had more time, it could have been flawless.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
I agree.
The top part of it looked great.
It looked wonderful. It felt like it seemed. I mean, I know that they're creatures of some sort, but it just felt like she looked like a more zombie dead.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
She looks like a beauty character that ate a less attractive character.
I was like, no.
And some of them, we saw that the camera on film actually made some of the looks look better.
Agreed. Totally agree.
For that one with the light, like even with his creatures in the lighting and the contrast looks so cool. But that beauty character with those lights, you could see that contrast and the kind of crustiness of the moles on the chin more. So it didn't help in
anytime
that.
you describe something as crusty, and it's supposed to be a beauty makeup, it's just
Yeah, it was a little rough.
She to me was the least cohesive third character.
Yes.
I wasn't, not only did she not look like the other makeups, I wasn't entirely sure what she was supposed to be.
That's why I said she looked like a zombie. And I was like, I'm so confused.
she didn't look like an alien at all.
And I feel like that's in part kind of with the story he was given, but that Ben could have figured out some way with his storytelling to wrap it.
Well, because
a bit more.
My inclination is, okay, we have a Frankenstein story, we've got a doctor, we've got a monster, we're introducing another character, it's a girl. Wouldn't you make her kind of in the same vein and make her like a Bride of Frankenstein?
Yeah, because even the Bride of Frankenstein looks gorgeous.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the the prime example of what you're going for.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's your gold standard.
Beauty horror, Frankenstein. You think Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So it does seem weird that he would go so far from that reference.
Yeah.
When it seemed, I mean, I understand wanting to think out of the box, but I think in this case it was one of those that it was just on the next page.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I think we were all pretty excited because our girl who's been holding it down from day one.
I was jumping around going, no!
Nora's team crushed it.
They really did.
And Nora, oh my God, she just looked like she
like
belonged
in
on
the
set.
zone.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about this was because, we see a lot of scenes in this episode of Nora giving direction. And she's being incredibly assertive and on top of things. And it was really nice that in that interview segment with Meg's like, yeah, all of Nora's best qualities are just coming out right now. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
There was never a moment. Nora wasn't like, Meg wasn't like, Nora's bossing us all around. She was like, no, Nora's crushing it. And I love to see that.
She's always so calm, assertive, like Cesar Millan. She's just a
perfect leader.
Yeah, she's
that was
so
a really good example. I love her.
Calm, assertive energy.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which on a film set it is kind of like wrangling dogs.
Exactly.
So if you can be the actor whisperer, then it's kind of nice.
There we go. Tying it all
have
together.
that skill.
And even adapting, when Patrick was like, well, I want the monster now to jump into the water too. And she's like, okay, hold on real quick. Let me spray his feet so we don't lose our makeup. And then we keep going. She's Sharp, jumping in there.
Even when they were painting and she looks over and Meg and Jasmine and she said, it's a little too white on the tree creature character. Right. She doesn't say, you guys are messing it up, you're ruining it. She just says, make sure it looks like it did 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And just very, she just words things very well.
She does, yeah.
She's very good at giving direction in a way that makes you want to do your best work for her.
Absolutely.
Especially when Meg was kind of okay, we don't have a lot of time to paint, so I'm just gonna start putting moss all over. And she's like, whoa. We have time. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We can figure it out. It's a little too much. It's okay. And I was like, Meg, exactly. Nora, get it.
Totally. No, yeah. But claps for Meg, too.
No, the whole, everybody on this finale just really just putting all their work in there, especially Nora's team.
And I think Nora had a makeup that was a really good example of it actually looked a lot better once it was on set. Because when they were in the trailer and I saw Nayeli's makeup done, who was her Prey character.
I was a little worried.
It didn't, it looked a little muddy and she wasn't, not that she was supposed to be pretty, but it was almost intentionally not pretty. You know the difference between this character is grotesque and complicated looking versus we just put all this ugly makeup on this girl to make her not pretty. And it almost looked like the latter, where it was they were intentionally making her not pretty.
Dirty than not finished.
Yeah, exactly. More dirty than totally.
Completed,
but then once it was actually on set and I saw it cut together in the final short film, it actually looked really good. So
the close-ups on the face were so neat. So neat. Honestly, I didn't really like the tree guy very much.
Oh, really?
It reminds me so much of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Groot?
Yeah, so that's where I go every time. I thought she executed it really well. I think I just have, I just don't like the tree character. Because it just looks like that Vin Diesel guy.
Maybe subconsciously that's why I like the tree creature so much, is because I love Groot. So
maybe.
It's Groot's cousin.
But I really liked our ally. I thought he was literally just
he was fantastic.
I was like, this is the coolest thing ever that you've ever done.
Well, you want to talk about a character that was justified in that world, and I totally saw, this character fits in the story. I see 100% how he fits in the story. Great example.
Yeah.
I know. I love how she whistled to him to kind of start giggling.
Oh, it was great.
Busted, buddy.
I also just love that Neville told Nora rather. I don't know. We're all doing it. We're all calling Meg and Nora.
Meg and Nora.
They were kind of joined at the hip in this episode. But it was
when
great.
your mom calls you your sibling's name.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
We feel like they're face-off family by this point.
I loved that Neville said to Nora, you did two of my least favorite things.
Yes.
A tree and a scar through the face.
He's like...
And I liked both of them.
Right.
That's pretty impressive that she can do. I mean, because we've seen that on the show so many times. We have seen some sort of tree creature, but it didn't. It wasn't to me reminiscent of anything that we've seen on the show.
Yes. No, and I really enjoyed it. I harken back to last season. Jamie, her bridge troll was kind of a tree creature, and that was also spectacular, but in a totally different way from this tree creature. Which it's funny that you brought up Groot, because to me this actually looks like a tree version of the devil that Tim Curry plays in Legend.
That's what I was thinking. See, I was in a totally different movie. I was thinking of another creature for Pan's Labyrinth.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm we're all on different levels here. I love it.
Speaking of trees, I did like how Neville pulled out another pun.
Oh my God.
I hate tree characters, but I think you made me a tree hugger.
I was like, Neville, get out. Stop it.
So good.
Neville has been really trying to pull out the jokes.
He has been. I'm like, Neville, that was a great tree pun. I want to buy you a drink, maybe a root beer.
Elena, stop it.
Oh, God.
Stop it.
All right, I will. That one was bad. That was bad.
It was good.
It was good and bad, but I still hate you.
I'm trying to think of one.
I can't do it. Let it go.
I don't know.
I was just so impressed with everybody this season, and I feel like the final three just really held it down.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of who they brought back as far as the teams go? Is there anybody that you wished could have come back that we didn't get to see?
I would have liked to see more from Brittany. because she was so strong for 3 challenges, and then she was on the bottom once, and they kicked her off.
Yeah, I agree.
So I would have liked to see what she brought to the table with this. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I would have really wanted to see come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I liked seeing Ricky again. That was nice.
Yeah, I was really happy to see Ricky and Jason again, because I really liked both of them, and Ricky's so great on camera. Like, he's such a great he brings such a fun personality to it, so much so that pretty much all of the footage of Nora's team was Ricky or Nora and Meg.
Yeah.
Like, we barely saw anything from Jasmine, and I'm sure Jasmine did a ton of work, and she's so incredibly talented. So.
I do love how all 3 of the ladies on that team have some portion of head shaved.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, that was really awesome. Yeah. What did you guys think of the actual films, though? Like the short films?
You know, what's really interesting is, even though I totally agree with the results of the episode and who won ultimately, I think that ultimately, in the end, Evan's makeups and short film were my favorite.
Yeah, same here.
Which I was very, very surprised by, because in the last episode, Evan was a mess.
I know, and I was really worried for him, but he, like, stepped it up, though.
He really did. Like, he really pulled it together. And I mean, granted, I'm kind of a sucker for that sort of story. Like, I really like zombie stories. I really like sci-fi zombie stories where it's like a bioweapon that's making people into sort of zombie creatures. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was scary. It had a purpose to it, and I really liked the way that the 3 characters were incorporated into the film.
I really like the ending of that one, too.
Yeah.
You don't know what happened, but you hear screaming.
Yeah, scream, exactly. Yeah, I liked Evan's and Nora's both a lot. I feel like they had more, for a 1 minute, 2 minute short film, they had a story arc, I think, more than Ben's story.
I felt bad for Ben's
I was going to say,
and I felt a little off.
Which I don't think isn't
It's not his fault.
No, that's
not.
what he had.
Exactly. And I think, again, some of it comes back to what we were saying earlier about Ben's makeups, that we don't really understand how the girl fits into the story.
Right.
Yeah, and I was still confused. Maybe I missed something, but why did he jump off? The priest? Into the pit? No? Anybody? Okay, maybe it was just me. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I have to rewatch it again. I don't know.
Yeah, that one was the most confusing to me.
Yeah, and if it's going to be that short, it needs to be very concise, and it needs to make a lot of sense. It seemed like there were too many elements in that one, and that if that had been a longer one, then maybe it would have made some more sense, and the characters would have been more clear.
I think that one had a lot. Again, if it were longer, and if we really knew what the girl was about, that had the potential to be a really good classic style horror film that just happens to also be sci-fi.
Right.
Yep. But it didn't make sense. And so if you're given characters that don't make sense, then when you're trying to make a cohesive look with all 3 of them, it all goes back to story. So I really like that they had this challenge in particular, because it really shows the challenges that makeup artists have from the very beginning, from having looks that fit the story all the way down to, being on set and saying, to Evan, your wanderer, lose the jacket, and then having to these last minute changes that you're not expecting.
Totally.
And we talk about what if they were on set in the hypothetical situations. Now we're actually getting to see it come to fruition. And I think it's kind of crazy that it took 9 seasons for us to see.
I know.
And the thing is, I think that all of the teams actually were really good on set.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't a single team that just was like, well, we did the makeup, we'll be over here.
Yeah, or for someone freaked out, like couldn't handle the pressure.
Yeah, no, not at all. So, it is a little mind-boggling that they haven't done something like this until now.
Because that's the ultimate goal.
Right, is to get jobs.
Definitely should be more practical application, whether or not that's for movies, or maybe they do like a print ad or something. Applying it to more real life situations.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it was great seeing everybody on set and seeing them have such good on-set rapport, because you know from this point forward that everybody, this was so exciting.
That the necklace was just like, I can't handle it.
Oh shoot!
Oh my God!
Never miss an opportunity.
I love it.
Don't
give in to her. Marissa, dang it.
But it's so cool because we know that from this point forward, moving on, all of these people are going to be doing great work.
Oh, yeah,
on different
absolutely.
sets, which I do have to clarify something that I messed up last week.
Oh, no.
Kyle Roberts' film is not The Man Who Laughed. I let Universal get into my head too much.
Oh, that's okay.
It's The Town That Laughed.
Oh, really?
Based off of, well, kind of a spin-off of The Town That Never Laughed. And then this is a Western. So Jasmine is going to be doing the makeup for this new film,
Nice.
The Town Who Laughed. So we know that at least one of our contestants are
is
already
working.
on a film set.
Right.
So we're
Right.
excited to see what everybody else has.
Yeah, it's really funny. Out working other jobs in the industry, every makeup artist that I've encountered, and I tell them that I do the after show for Face Off, they're like, "Oh, do you know Ben? Ben works on everything, you guys.
Really? Awesome.
Everything.
That doesn't
so
surprise
great.
me
Yep.
because he's so talented.
Yeah. Yeah.
And very excited that there are Quincy shirts.
Yeah.
I know.
So-
You did tweet us last week. That was awesome.
There you can get a Quincy shirt as
Never
well as
fear.
a creepy uncle.
I
And-
kind of want some just for
I know.
fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
love it.
awesome?
I love like
I would love to
random
go
weird
Just
shirts.
to love to go running, and people are just like, what?
Who's that face on your shirt?
Who's that
Who's
guy?
that
Or
face on your butt?
Yeah.
I just want to layer
That's how
them.
I run.
Yeah, so you can run a block and then like have one and then it's just another face underneath. Like
People are just gonna be like, what's
just
happening?
a weird Superman situation.
That'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
This was such an interesting episode because I feel like there was so little drama. Like there wasn't any time really in this episode for them to show makeup drama. The only bit of makeup drama we really got was, okay, we were gluing down the chest piece and it's
Yeah.
rolling a little bit, and we were gluing down
Oh yeah, the
chin, and it wasn't looking so great.
Right.
The chest piece was fine. That was on Nora's giant character.
Yeah.
Obviously that turned out okay.
Yes.
But yeah, because the majority of the work on the makeups for this episode was actually in the previous episode.
Yes.
Right.
So this episode was so much more focused on just, honestly, the filmmaking process.
Which was a neat spin, but
It
I do
was.
kind of wish that instead of making this a two-parter, they could have made it
yeah.
an
longer
extra
episode.
long finale.
Yeah,
And
I
just have it be
agree.
one
Exactly.
long episode.
Yeah.
I know series that do like 2 hour
2 hour
long
finales, yeah.
And I'm like, why
Yeah.
don't we just do that?
I did love how the judges all seemed so impressed by all of the looks.
Absolutely,
You know,
yeah.
we've seen them be a bit more harsh in previous episodes with the looks, and even with, you know, the things that they didn't think hit the mark as well tonight. They were still very impressed and kind of blown away by everything.
And again,
I liked seeing that.
and I think that, you know, I think we're all in agreement that the weakest makeup was the girl character
Yeah.
in Ben's short film. However, his other two makeups were so strong.
Yeah.
He had the strongest
cool.
and the weakest.
I know, yeah, that I think the judges had a hard time really tearing that other creature apart because the other two were so good that they were able to go, okay, obviously he is talented.
Yeah.
There are good aspects of this makeup. Basically, if you were to just cover like below the nose from like here, if you're listening, I'm indicating right at the bottom of my eye sockets up. She did look great.
Yeah.
right.
I completely agree with you.
That mouth part.
Yeah.
I love them. Speaking of mouths, the mouths of his priest and creature characters.
Yes,
Yeah.
when they're
amazing.
talking to each other and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that
creepy.
looked so cool. Hers just looked like somebody took a cheese grater to it. And just, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like it just looked like
Just
it
needed
was.
some moisturizer, guys.
Yeah, you didn't
Some
get that
lotion.
girl some lip balm.
Lotion. I'll give you a little face mask and I'll just get right in those pores, girl. Just work
But
it.
even with a character that didn't really fit the script, and even with, you know, a look that was thrown in at last looks and having to deal with all of those issues, still being able to rock out that amazing film and the amazing way, and they just looked so good on screen. It's a testament to all these guys and how
I agree.
ridiculously talented everybody this season is. This has just been a season that every single person could have easily been the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, particularly once we got to those, top 9 contestants.
Like after the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the gauntlet was so tiring for me.
But even still, like, Jasmine got eliminated that week, but she was really, really short. It's like everybody who got eliminated from Jasmine on, I think they only got eliminated because they had bad weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
I think essentially everyone who was there tonight was very solid, which is a reason they probably brought them back.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think Nora was just clear winner
she
from
absolutely
last week to this one. Just solid looks all the way around. And when she found out that she won, that was so adorable.
Just adorable.
Yeah.
You can't not tear up. Like,
I mean, she was even tearing up on set because she was so happy that she got to do this. And
Just
so
the opportunity of it.
I know.
in her interview, talking about her dad being proud of her.
Oh my God. It broke my heart.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, when she said, my dad's going to be really, really proud of me, I got a little verklempt.
And I loved Ben talking about how, you don't have to win to be the champion and to feel like a champion.
Oh, yeah.
They were all incredibly positive.
And gracious and just amazing. You can see why they work so regularly and why everybody knows Ben.
Yeah,
because
none of them should be disappointed.
Well, that's what I loved about Evan when he was talking about what he loves about Face Off is that it brings you up. It gives you that self-esteem. Like that whole little spiel that he did, I was just look at you.
Didn't he say like it makes you a better person?
Yeah,
I loved it.
Gosh,
Yeah, he did. He said it made him a better person because they're asking you to do a tremendous amount of work in such a limited period of time. And every week, even if you do something that's not spectacular and flawless and exactly how you would want it, you have still made something every single challenge over the course of 3 days, sometimes 2 days. And that is something to be incredibly proud of.
Your portfolio has just exploded. With just amazing work. This was just an awesome season.
It really was.
Kind of crazy to
I know.
think that it's done.
I know.
It seems like
The face-off
it just
seasons are so
started.
short.
They do feel really short, like shorter than the last season too.
But luckily, we come back pretty soon.
Yeah,
We're
pretty
back in
quickly.
January, so only a few months.
Exactly.
And we'll be back, guys.
We'll be back to talk more about Mackenzie's fabulous dresses.
Oh, I can't wait.
Her wardrobe in this episode was on point.
great.
I loved the jacket she was wearing when they were on set.
I know.
I just want Mackenzie's hand-me-downs.
I know.
Seriously.
If she has a clothing swap, we should all attend. And
Yes.
just be like, yes.
That would be the best store ever.
It would be the best
Mackenzie's
store.
hand-me-downs.
Yep.
Everybody.
She's doing
line.
spring cleaning, but it's like her
I know.
wardrobe.
I need to find out which Goodwill Mackenzie donates his to.
Oh my God.
That's my
Just
dream.
us waiting, there she is. She's gonna drop off all the
She
stuff.
tweets about it, and we're all just hanging in the parking lot.
Just waiting.
Just waiting on Instagram.
We'll pick it up for you.
Yeah.
And we'll
You don't
come
have
to
to
your house and take it. You don't even
you
have
don't
to
have to
leave.
drive. It's okay. We got you.
We got it.
So, if Mackenzie were to donate her clothes to you guys via social media,
Look at you.
Yeah.
where would she do so?
Well, she can find me at Emma Fyffe, which is my name.
Nice.
Yeah, also Mackenzie, if you're looking for something to do and you watch a lot of TV, I'm on a lot of after shows here at AfterBuzz TV. Follow me on Twitter. I'll tell you all about them. There are things like Star Wars Rebels, Bob's Burgers, Steven Universe, Ash vs. Evil Dead, lots of them. But just follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet the links, Mackenzie, so you won't miss it. I also do a Sailor Moon podcast called Love and Justice. In case you're into Sailor Moon, you can find that in the iTunes store.
Look at you.
Have ESPN or something.
That was amazing.
I love it.
Oh my
I
God.
love it. And I'm Lauren Salaun, that's spelled Salaun, and that's where you can find me all over social media. And I, too, do a number of different after shows here at AfterBuzz almost every night of the week, I feel like, at this point. So just follow on Twitter or Snapchat, because I'll be telling everyone when that's going down. And, yeah, Mackenzie, I love the dresses, so let's, talk about it. And also, I've had the chat up and just want to give a shout-out to Ginger Flair, who is always always here with us. We love the comments and love chatting with you.
Yeah. All right, Mackenzie, you can find me at Torres890. I also do a lot of shows here. We love that. Also, I do 2 other podcasts on our 2 other channels called Popcorn Talk Network. I can't wait talk. And BlackHollywoodLive.com, especially if you like to talk about nerdy geek stuff. I'm there. So just look me up.
And you can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan, spelled like Alana, because why not? And on Instagram at that Alana Jordan girl. And you can find all of us back here in January. In the meantime, keep tweeting at us and use that hashtag ABTVFaceOff. See you in a few months, guys. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.